A man is captured after a chase on I-75 after he made an Arby's restaurant restroom his hiding place. And we are learning more about what the president's plans are concerning gun restrictions next year.
And we're back again live at downtown Corbin for the Nibrock Festival. I'll have the weekend forecast for you coming up in just a little bit. Mountain News at 4 continues now.
Mountain News, first at 4, continues.
A man was captured after a chase on Interstate 75 reached high speeds. It ended after the suspect crashed and jumped on the roof of a Madison County restaurant. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more.
Police say that Tyler Allen tried to quickly get away when a state trooper tried to pull him over in Mount Vernon, and then what followed was a high-speed wild chase up North Interstate 75. Police say he was clocked going 135 miles an hour. Police say Allen got off the interstate in Berea and then slammed into a car at the end of the exit ramp. People outside the Dinner Bell restaurant say they saw him crash into a ditch near Arby's, and moments later he went into the restaurant to use the restroom. Staff didn't know that he was being chased by police, and then he ran out, and police say he jumped on the roof where he was caught.
And next thing we know, the whole entire store is surrounded by police. They're everywhere. We've got fire and rescue here, and apparently the man had got on top of our roof.
And Allen is now in the Rockcastle County Detention Center facing a lot of charges. He could face even more charges as this investigation goes on, but for right now, he's facing charges such as tampering with physical evidence, speeding, and leaving the scene of an accident. In Madison County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Phil, thank you. We tried talking to Allen from jail, but he did not want to speak to us. One Hazard educator is a candidate for Kentucky Teacher of the Year. Hazard High School teacher Luke Glazer was nominated for his work as a math teacher. He is one of 22 teachers nominated across the state. Glazer says being considered at that level is an honor, and it took hard work to get there.
And you had to write 5 essays about your teaching and your philosophy and what it means to be a teacher in this day and age. And then from that pool of applicants, they selected 21 or 22 finalists. And so it's an honor to be named amongst those 22 finalists in the state of Kentucky.
Glazer is also a Hazard City Commissioner and was recently named the new assistant principal. And he's taught at the high school for more than a decade now. We'll have more from him tonight at 6. Floyd County Solid Waste is taking trash into consideration, offering a new program to clean up the county. Free dump days are now on the schedule every week, giving residents an opportunity to drop off their trash once a month free of charge. The effort is one way the fiscal court is working to address litter, shouldering the cost of the debris.
And what we're trying to accomplish is get more folks aware of the free program.
Free dump days are open Monday and Friday, 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. Hear more about the program in Floyd County coming up at 6.
Back again live from beautiful downtown Corbin, the 71st annual Nibrock Festival. From downtown Corbin, just up the road to the London Corbin Airport. Let's take a live look up there. 83 degrees. It feels a lot warmer in the sunshine, but I can tell you that breeze feels pretty nice. Just a few clouds up there, a couple planes on the runway. Beautiful day out that way. Let's go on to the temperatures, and you'll see that they're on the warmer side in general. It's going to be one of those days where we're going to continue to see possibilities for some warm air in place throughout the evening, and we're going to continue to be dealing with that for a little while as we head deeper into the nighttime hours. So again, I think it's going to be one of those situations that we're just going to continue to kind of keep an eye on things for you and look and see what's going on with things that are going on across our region. So let me get back over here for a second. Let's go actually to the regional satellite and radar. It's probably still on that. My graphics locked up here, Cameron, so we'll just play them by. We're flying by the seat of our pants on this one. We're looking basically at not too much going on right here. We got a high pressure kind of dominating our headlines here at home, but of course back off to the west, we've got that cold front out there. Your evening planner should be fairly nice for the rest of tonight. not too bad as we head into the next few hours, but as we head into the weekend, those rain chances will start to pick up, and they'll continue into next week. I'll have your full forecast coming up here in just a little bit. Steve?
All right, Brandon, thank you. President Joe Biden's campaign is preparing to make gun safety a central issue of his re-election campaign. CNN is reporting that will start with a big rollout of a new executive action to massively expand background checks for gun purchases. The executive action, which President Biden set in motion in March, would expand the definition of which gun sellers are required to comply with federal licensing and background check requirements. Iran and the United States have reached a deal that is set to free 5 American citizens in exchange for releasing billions of dollars in blocked funds. President Biden signed off on the agreement, which is already drawing criticism from Republicans. CBS's Margaret Brennan reports from Washington.
Shortly after their release from Tehran's notorious Evin prison, Secretary of State Antony Blinken said U.S. officials spoke with the 5 Americans.
I think they're, needless to say, very happy to be out of prison.
The Americans may be back on U.S. soil as soon as September, but that depends on a series of sensitive diplomatic arrangements. National Security Council spokesman John Kirby.
There's a lot of negotiating that's left to go here to get them home. They are not safe. They're out of prison, which is a good thing, but they are not completely safe.
Over the coming weeks, Iran will gain access to $6 billion held in a restricted account in South Korea. Those funds will be transferred to Qatar. Once there, Iran will be able to use them for purchases permitted under U.S. sanctions. Tehran also claims that 5 Iranians will be released from U.S. custody. A U.S. official told CBS that no such exchange has taken place. The families are eager to reunite with businessman Siamak Namazi, imprisoned in 2015, environmentalist Murad Tabaz, and businessman Imad Shargi, taken in 2018. The U.S. considers them wrongfully detained, as the Shargi family told CBS Mornings in 2021.
Do you have any idea why the Iranian authorities would take your father?
Yeah, it's because he's an American citizen. I mean, there is a history of this happening to be used as leverage.
Granting any relief to Iran's regime draws political heat. Republican presidential candidate Mike Pence said the released funds will encourage hostage-taking.
But I think President Biden's decision is a disgrace. The United States of America doesn't pay ransom.
The White House said this is not ransom and that no U.S. taxpayer dollars will be used. The funds are from unfrozen Iranian oil revenue. Now, 2 additional Americans have asked for their names to be kept private, but are part of this release. And the U.S. government warns Americans against any travel to Iran. Margaret Brennan, CBS News, Washington.
The average family spent $700 more a month in July than they did 2 years ago. Experts at Moody's Analytics say it's all due to the cumulative impact of high inflation. A chief economist at Moody's says most of the monthly increase is spending from the soaring costs of housing, groceries, vehicles, and services like cable. And of course, paychecks have not grown as much during the past 2 years as the cost of living. Coming up on First at 4, the Supreme Court makes a decision concerning the maker of OxyContin.
And the forecast continues to stay warm here in Corbin. We'll talk about the weekend and beyond in just a few minutes.